one question I have as well. So, yeah, from there to starting photography to becoming a professional photography, paying off your debts and all that in just a couple months' time, what do you think made that such a fast process? I mean, that's incredibly um, very impressive to go from, just a hobby or something you're just getting into to professional right away. Why do you think that was? Like, what's the main thing that people you think could learn from that?
Well, I mean, so I think it was just utilizing, and I wasn't utilizing. I think it was just more of like the people that did know me, right? It was my
Hmm.
circle, and kind of, I didn't know it at the time that I was doing it, but I was marketing myself as somebody that is building up a passion and showing the end work of what my passion was looking like every single day with like hikes and showing my behind the scenes of me taking a photo to the photo. And this was before reels happened, so it was just
Hmm.
like all story driven. And and I think that because of that, I think like all of the word of mouth pretty much happened, and it was just all of the people that I did know, because like all of us, we started Instagram with no following, and it's all of our beginning following before you're a creative is the people that your friends from high school, your uncles, aunties, stuff like that. So it was just like, hey, like I was just marketing myself, and
Hmm.
it wasn't even like I wasn't even growing a following. It was utilizing like the people that I do know, and like it just kind of built up like that.
And was there a certain point in that process when you kind of thought, wait a second, this hobby of me just, yeah, kind of throwing things on Instagram that I'm doing is turning into a career? Was there kind of like that switch point where you're like, oh damn, this is actually a career now?
Uh, I honestly, although I said I went full time in 6 months, like it wasn't like, okay, I'm officially full time. Like I think in reality, I realized it like an hour, a year and a half later, and I was like, oh snap, like I need to start hiring other, people and working with other people, and I'm like, I need to understand what running a business is like or something, because I didn't know anything about this business stuff when I started. It was just like, okay, look, I know how to take photos and I love to do it. And it wasn't really like a time where I was like, okay, like this is for sure. It was just a gradual thing that I was just like, okay, like let me facilitate all of like these leads and kind of work with it.
Hmm. And that business when you were starting, was that for like clients on your own Instagram, or was that more people would see you on Instagram or social media and then think, oh, Chris, Chris has got a lot of talent. I love what he's doing. And then, like you were saying before, get you to shoot whatever they're looking for their own like ads or something like that.
It was all through Instagram in the beginning, it was just like all through Instagram. It was kind of both of what you said. It was through Instagram, it was the people that, that knew. And like I said, everybody would just ask me like, you know how to do maternity photos, you know how to do baby photos.
Hmm.
Like, yeah. So I just did it, and they say fake it till you make it, right? So I was just like just saying yes to everything,
Hmm.
everything. And I pretty much got hired to do every single type of photography job out there, as a business realtor, portraits, real estate photography, maternities, weddings, quinceañeras, any type of headshots, just product photos, everything.
Hmm.
I didn't really start getting booked for travel and adventure gigs till like years later, like 3 or 4 years later, I think. It was always like I'm gonna post. It got to a point where it was like, okay, I'm gonna post the stuff that I love and I'm passionate about on Instagram, and I'm just gonna take my gigs and not really post them. And that worked for a while, and it was weird because I would get inquiries for stuff that I'm not even posting about, but it was a good job and I would just take it. And that's just how I did it. I never did outreach or anything. It was always, and especially when I put my email on my Instagram, then that's when it was just like going